All right. Starting here in 30 seconds, Keith, and you're first. Good afternoon. Welcome into our WBAY newsroom and our First Alert Fastcast for this Monday on June 3rd. And if you've been outside and without an umbrella, you know that it is not the most pleasant of afternoons. So let's get right to our First Alert weather. We'll bring in meteorologist Keith Gibson to let us know the latest on what is happening out there. And there's been a lot happening. It sounded like freight train rain there for a while, Keith.
I tell you what, the atmosphere is really juiced up now. If you've been outside, you certainly know it's very humid. Right now, no watches, no warnings. The storms in general so far have been relatively tame. We go to First Alert Viper Max radar and through Door County, down towards Algoma, Kewaunee. That's where we have some of the heaviest rain, perhaps some wind gusts over 30 miles per hour. Radar has been detecting at times today some small hail in this. But as of now, things are relatively tame, and that's certainly good news in the near term. But as far as rainfall, let's recap where we've been. Some of us have had a ½ inch to an inch plus. Other spots have missed out or not have had as much, but we've had some good downpours out there today so far, Chris. And so this first wave is lifting through. There's more showers and storms trying to redevelop to the southwest and just popping up here in northeastern Iowa. There's a severe thunderstorm warning down there. So we're not completely out of the woods as far as severe weather goes. And from here on out, though, it's going to be limited, really focused across our southern areas. We think if we are going to get an isolated strong to severe storm with some hail and some wind, and we'll just see how things shake out for the rest of this afternoon. Still a level 1, level 2 risk for some severe weather here today, but that level 2 from about Highway 10 south. So for the rest of today into the early to mid-evening, still a small window of opportunity for a couple of strong storms really focused on our southern areas. So far, so good today in general, but we do have one batch of storms moving through today. And real quick, Chris, before I toss back to you, I want to just let folks know that tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, tomorrow night, we are back into a zone for some severe weather in the region, or at least some strong storms. It's going to be warm and humid tomorrow. So just be aware that with dew points well into the 60s to around 70 now, that will continue into tomorrow. We should be in the 80s on Tuesday. So we will have plenty of fuel and a couple of things that could kick off some storms again tomorrow too. So we'll watch the rest of today. Of course, we'll keep you updated on tomorrow, but lower humidity later this week.
All right, that's what I was going to ask you, Keith. You started out by saying it's juicy out there, and I knew from reading your forecast stuff for tomorrow it was going to be juicy again. So you'll be busy, and we'll probably lead off with you again tomorrow on that First Alert Fastcast. We'll see.
Sounds good.
All right, we'll see you at 4 o'clock.
Okay.
Thanks, Keith. Appreciate it. All right, let's get you caught up on some of the stories we are working on here in the newsroom for you for this afternoon. Green Bay police are investigating the death of a 61-year-old Brown County woman. She was found lying in a ditch in the 1000 block of Kepler Drive. That is on Green Bay's far east side. Officers responded to a medical call on Monday just before 8 a.m. That was reported by a passerby. The investigation is in preliminary stages right now. Police said the cause of death, they're waiting for the medical examiner to determine that. However, this is not believed to be suspicious at this time. Let's take you to Little Chute, where a man is now recovering tonight from a large fight that took place outside of his home. This took place early Sunday morning, left him with a concussion and 13 stitches in his head. Just after midnight Sunday, police responded to a fight in the front yard of that home on the 400 block of East Lincoln Avenue. Witnesses saying the fight involved roughly 25 to 30 people. They were believed to be in the 17 to 20-year-old range. Fox Valley Metro Police are continuing to follow up on leads. Nobody's been arrested at this point. And our sources telling us here at Action 2 News that family members were in the backyard. They heard screaming coming from the front yard. The homeowner, who had gone outside to try and intervene in that fight, had been beaten up by the group and struck in the head with a bird feeder. Sources also tell us that those involved were videotaping all of this, and by the time police had arrived, they had all scattered and run away. Police are now asking, any neighbors that have video evidence, or the doorbell cameras, surveillance cameras, whatever, to help them out. Again, Fox Valley Metro Police seeking that help in this investigation. Our Samantha Cavalli will have more on this coming up tonight, starting on Action 2 News at 4 o'clock. Let's bring this up for you. This is a story we are following online right now. This is, you can catch it on our website. Let's bring up the story here. Fond du Lac SWAT. We are working to learn more about this story that took place last night in Fond du Lac. Sources, Fond du Lac police saying a 44-year-old man is in jail now on weapons charges after a 3-hour standoff with police that took place Sunday night. An emergency caller said a man had pointed a handgun at another person, threatened to kill him during an argument on Donahue Court. This was started shortly after 6:30 in the evening. The suspect with the gun left before police had arrived and went into his apartment, where there was a 4-year-old and a 5-year-old inside the apartment, and he would not let the children leave. But just before 10 o'clock, you can see it here in our story, the SWAT team breached that apartment using explosives. Nobody was hurt. We are working to learn more from police today, and it is believed that this 44-year-old man will have an initial court appearance today. We'll follow up on that as information becomes available. We'll bring that to you here, certainly on Action 2 News and online. As soon as that information, we'll alert you as soon as it comes in. And we want to tell you about a story that we were going to bring you on Thursday, but things changed, obviously, with the Donald Trump guilty verdict that day. But it's a conversation we're going to have coming up today on Action 2 News at 4:30. The U.S. Navy teaming up with Northeast Wisconsin Technical College to address a need for more shipbuilders. NWTC is receiving a nearly $600,000 grant to promote this as a career. And right now, that career is in high demand by industry here in Northeast Wisconsin. The money is going to be used to put on these welding rodeos. What's a welding rodeo? Well, you'll find out at 4:30. Think of it as a big job fair, but for people of all ages. These events will be held in Sturgeon Bay and Marinette, which of course is home to Bay Shipbuilding and Marinette Marine, both subsidiaries of Fincantieri Marine. We'll be joined by NWTC's Vice President of College Advancement to talk more about this career that is in high demand and delivers some pretty high wages and consistency in the workplace. So we'll talk about that coming up today at 4:30. Let's take that graphic out for you. We'll bring you back into our newsroom, and those are some of the stories we're working on, and we'll update you on the weather too, and we'll be with you throughout the evening here on Action 2 News starting at 4 o'clock. Until then, we tell you to have and ask you to have a great afternoon. We'll see you later.